Let's get serious about how to get clients because you've set your business up, you've done your branding, you've done your website, you've sorted out your services and your pricing. Well, that's all good and well. But if you're not getting clients, you're not making an income, you're not getting revenue in, it could make or break or start to affect the reason why you decided to start and do this. Maybe you're doing it as a side hustle. Maybe you've given up a day job and you've really got to make it work. I would strongly recommend you go and check out our mastery modules on our website, how to get clients and how to start a web design business, which covers off tons of stuff. And all of our prices are geographically based now, so they are more affordable than ever. You got no excuse to not go there. Now, in terms of how to get clients, the first avenue you really should be reaching out to, and not everyone's going to feel comfortable with this, is friends and family. I don't mean drive down and go, hey dad, do you know anyone that needs a website? Or start texting your friends and, badgering people. I'm not talking about that. When you come across your friends or family, they might ask you, hey Imran, what are you up to these days? Some people don't want to admit they work on web designs because sometimes it's not seen as a professional career, which is completely false. It is a professional career. But you know how sometimes people go, oh, you do comics, oh, you draw pictures or whatever. Sometimes people have this superiority complex over how they view web designers and stuff. Don't be afraid of that. Be confident in what you do. Hey, I design websites. I solve digital problems. I help companies to achieve more. I help brands to break out and stand out across the competition. Show off what you can do. Because if you met someone who's a cake maker, they're probably going to start pulling out pictures and cards or tell you about the last cake they make. If you go and meet someone that designs furniture, I bet they're going to want to talk about the latest chair they made as well. So why don't we talk more about the websites we build and about why we love doing it? So when you're next with your friends or family and they ask you, or you're just having a conversation, mention it. Mention it on your Facebook profile, in your Twitter or whatever. Maybe when you're working on something, put a post out there. Keep letting people know that you design stuff and don't be afraid of showing examples. It doesn't even have to be a real website by a client. You might be just showing off a design you're working on. No one needs to know if it's a real design or not. You can just show off what you're able to achieve and someone might see an image or read something and go, hey, I like the look of that. I want to work with them. There are going to be friends and family out there that have considered a website, but they've been a bit afraid or unsure about how best to approach it. Or maybe they had a website built 10, 20 years ago and it stagnated, sat on the shelf, and it needs a makeover, reinvention. You could be the person to deliver that. And here's something else you really should consider though as well. Just because they are friends or family, your sister, your dad, doesn't matter who, offer them an incentive. And this is something you should do with friends and family, new clients and existing clients. If any one of them refers to you and it leads to a successful job that is done, and it doesn't have to be just web design, it could be SEO, logo design, cake making, whatever, you pay them, the referrer, 10%, maybe. Or maybe if you're in the United Kingdom, you pay them between £50 to £100. Maybe in the United States, you pay them $100. Maybe if you're based in India, you pay them $10 to $15. Don't forget though, value of dollars and pounds and all that changes around the world, okay, geographical location. So please don't go, what? Who's going to give you a referral for $15 in India? You'd be surprised. So start thinking about what works in your geographical location and what is going to be of value to the referrer. I can tell you now, if you start to say to people in the United Kingdom, hey, if you refer anyone to us for a website build and it leads to a website build, you will make £100 out of that. They start listening. If you say you'll get a £5 Amazon gift voucher, they stop listening. And you're not going to lose any money out of your back pocket, okay? You do not pay the referrer until it leads to a successful completed job. So even if the referrer, after the referral, converts into a lead and you're now building a website, until it's complete and you're paid, you're not going to pay the referrer. So you will have already have built in that referral fee into your cost as well. That's what a lot of companies out there do. So please think about your friends and family and incentivizing those referrals. This links in massively into social media, because I bet you're not talking to your friends on a daily basis now and again. So on your Facebook profile, have you been open about the fact that you design websites? Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn, stuff like that. I'm not asking you to go and do a YouTube channel or TikTok. You can do that, can work for you as well. But just your general social media platforms. Why are you hiding the fact that you design websites? Maybe it's a bit of a side hustle and you don't want everyone to know. Well, if you don't let everyone know, you just narrowed down the funnel for people reaching out to you. Let people know, otherwise how are they going to find you? At the same time though, don't force it into every post. So if you notice, for instance, maybe you're part of a group that works with accountants, don't join the accountant group and start saying, hey, I design websites. You know, come and book with me. Here's an example website I built. I can do wonders for you. It's much better that you build a name for yourself in that group. You become someone they recognize and associate with. You start posting ideas. How would you approach a problem? Maybe something's changed in the law or legally, something to do with accountancy, something to do with SEO, something to do with WordPress. What's your thoughts on it? Don't just go in and reply, but actually start conversations, because that's how you can build a brand, like a reputation for yourself. Oh yeah, this person knows what they're doing. And then every now and again, when you notice someone mention something about maybe, oh, I've got a website and it's really, really slow, you come in. But you don't, again, come in with, oh, yeah, we can do this for you for $100. No, you come in with advice. I'm going to go, yeah, and by the way, I do kind of work on this sort of stuff all the time. Reach out to me if you want to know more. Give them that doorway to hopefully convert. Maybe it converts into a deeper conversation, a private message or something like that. It's all about building trust. And you will know that when you go to any forums on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook anyway, you will spot the people who are basically just wanting to sell their service. Hey, come and use me. I'm free. I can build websites. I can do XYZ for you. But they never really offer any solutions. You can go in and look at their history and go, when was the last time they really, really helped someone out? And then you'll notice those that are very willing. How much free time does someone give away? I mean, I give away lots. I know lots of other people do. I mean, most of you, maybe, depending on the size of screen you got, you might have Facebook always open in the side anyway. So you might be dropping in and out anyway. Try and build that persona of someone who knows their stuff, okay? And I'm not saying be false. Don't fake it to make it. Don't do that. Really, please do not do that. Because once you get caught out, people don't forget. But show that you know what you're talking about. And then when you do start dropping in, well, yeah, we build websites as well. Oh, yeah, I'm a web designer. Oh, yeah, I've actually covered that up. I just did that for a client last week. I had that exact same problem, and here's what you need to do about it. Free advice can massively help. And the best analogy I can give to you for that is you might be after a product, and there's two shops. Both of them sell the product. They're next door to one another. You go into one shop, and they know nothing about the product. They sell it. They've actually got it for a slightly cheaper price, but they know nothing about it. You go to the next shop and it's probably a tiny bit more, but they know what they know about the product. They can tell you about the good, the bad. They can advise you. They give you a level of customer service. And I'll tell you what, I would probably end up paying a little bit more as a reward to that shop because they went out their way and they weren't forcing it. Hey, you got to buy this now. If you don't get it now, it's gone. But they're really, really helpful and they know their stuff. The trust, the expertise is there. You want to engage with them. Now, it goes without saying that when you do have a website built, or however you're advertising yourselves, you want to build up a mailing list. Now, the mailing list is basically an option for you to be able to start sending out newsletters. But you have to make sure your newsletters are worthy of being read. Okay, so don't just bombard them with sales pitches. Hey, buy this, buy that. Don't just tell them stuff that is completely irrelevant. Start thinking about your audience and maybe what you can do to help them out. The newsletters is a great avenue for you to remarket your services. So it might be that you're now offering something new. Maybe you've never offered SEO, but you are going to do it. Maybe Google Analytics 4 is replaced by Google Analytics 5, and now there's a bit of work that needs to be done for it. Maybe you could show that you know what you're doing and you can help set it up for people or advise them on how to do it. Maybe you're doing some special SEO training. Maybe there's a new page builder out there and you're running a new course on teaching people how to use it. It's a form of nurturing your audience, and every now and again you can drop in a product as well. So if you are trying to sell on a service or reach out to new clients, this can work for you really, really well. And the last one I want to talk about is local directories. So there are tons of directories out there that might be just for your particular area or your region. And I'm not just talking about the ones that come through your doors, because usually you have to pay the advertiser like quite a bit of money to get into like a booklet. I'm talking about online ones. Now, a lot of the online directories aren't completely free either. You might have to give a little. But what you really want to do is try and get your name onto there. Because I guarantee you, you're not going to be the only web designer that's on a directory. But just because there's 2 or 5 or 10 other web designers on there, if you're not on there, you're not competing. And because they're on there, it's probably going to help their SEO as well and increase the chances of them being found. Especially if like there's a common, like a well-known directory maybe. Maybe like, let's just say I'm in Leicestershire, right? And there's a Leicestershire directory. And a lot of people, when they are searching for things, that happens to pop up in their Google. Well, if I'm not on there, I'm missing out. And there are a lot of free directories as well. So make sure you get your name out there. Now, I've just gone over 4 things, which is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you want to know a lot more about how to get clients, you've got to check out our mastery module, how to start a web design business, okay? Because it covers off a lot of stuff. But if you just take those 4 very simple things, they are so easy for you to start applying now. Friends and family, incentivize them. Social media, sharing content. Make sure you've got a mailing list, MailerLite, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign. You can easily collect emails on your website, filter it over to a mailing list, and then start pumping out newsletters. Try and do it weekly, every Monday. It really works well. It's the most common day when they go out, so try and join that. And think about joining local directories. It's not going to take you long to Google and find one. And if there aren't any good ones out there, maybe start your own one. I don't know. You could do that. Why not? Now, when it comes to strategy, the one I haven't really touched on is cold emailing or cold calling. There's pros and cons to doing that. It can work for some people. It can also go against you. If you want a cold email or cold call, go for it. You might be very successful. But depending on your geographical location and the mood of the people in wherever you live or the area, it might not work all the time, and the amount of time you could end up losing with calling, emailing, sitting there waiting for a reply isn't always great. However, if you are part of a network, a directory, and that's the other thing as well, if you're part of a directory, you're a web designer, you're going to see other companies in that directory, and when you go to those companies, they have not got a website. So you might go, hey, look, I know you're on the directory, but then you're asking people, they've gone online to a directory, and you've got a phone number, you got a name and a phone number. You might have an email address, but you're expecting me now to type an email or to ring you or whatever. There's no email, website address. So if you had a web address, they could click that, and now you might showcase more. Because if there's let's say you're a decorator, there's 5 decorators, none have got a website. Who am I going to go for? Well, I like the sound of them. Whereas if one of them had a website, I'm pretty certain that if you had 5 decorators and only one of them had a website, you are most likely going to click the link before you look at the other 4, and you may make your decision based on that. And even if there was 2 of them, You might click on both links. Again, a good looking website could make a difference. Hey, I'm Imran, Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share and follow. I'll see you soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.